For this training video, we will look and see how this software is used in a SPIA or a DIA solve. We'll open the case at the Manage Scenarios page, and we will copy the base retirement plan much like we did the GLWB. We'll open this up, scroll down, click Edit, and we'll change this to the DIA solve. Update. And we'll jump right away to custom buckets. Here is a graph of what the income gap looks like. We will not be showing you a SPIA solve because those are a single premium immediate annuity, and in our test case we know that Bill and Mary Smith are not going to retire until 2020, so we need to buy a deferred income annuity, a DIA. I know that you receive a higher IRR the longer you delay payout of a DIA and the longer you take income during a DIA. I also know that they pay more if you have a higher inflation rate. For this case, I want to solve all of the inflation with this DIA solve. So we're going to try to purchase a DIA starting about here that inflates up. So we click on Add a Bucket, call this the DIA solve, and these are going to be period certain DIAs. So we'll simply just click the Use Retirement Start and Use Retirement End. So we're going to buy a period certain DIA from the beginning of retirement until their life expectancy. Looking at the graph here, let's start, let's say $2,000 at 3%. And you can click anywhere here to activate the software. The blue line is what we are currently considering purchasing. But as you can see, it's not enough to cover the income gap. So let's increase this to, let's say, 5%. We don't have quite enough money yet, so let's jump this up to $2,400. And you can see it's very, very close all the way till the passing of Bill. So let's maybe back this off just a little bit and kind of run a compromise. And let's run $2,500 at 4%. So it starts off perfectly and ends up really close. And we will use the growth assets for this shortfall during these years. We're simply showing you how the software works as opposed to trying to solve a case perfectly. Scroll down and click Next. The software goes out to the website Canex to ask them what companies are going to offer us this request. And we can see that there's two. So let's go ahead and choose American General and click Next. So it's going to take $601,000 to secure us an inflation-adjusted income of $2,500, inflating at 4% until her life expectancy. And we click Next. Now we need to determine how we're going to pay for this. So we need $601,000. Now if this was a Roth IRA, it would take the $601,000. But we do not have any Roth assets. So if it was non-qualified that we were going to use, it would probably take $650. But because I think we need to use the qualified first to avoid RMD issues, we're going to go ahead and just simply solve this with the qualified assets from Bill and Mary's qualified money. And you can see they had enough. We click Next. The software summarizes what we were going to do. We're going to buy American General using Bill's money as well as Mary's money with a little bit left over, and we click Finish. The software totals things up and takes us back to custom buckets. Let's click on Next Results, and you'll see a tabular that will include our income annuity, our deferred income annuity. The IRR on that is 3.32, and you can see that we have remaining assets of $475,000. What I'd like to acknowledge is that when you meet with a client and you can say that we have secured and guaranteed your inflation-adjusted income for the rest of your life, can you not be a little bit more aggressive with a longer time horizon with your remaining assets? You do not need to hold them hostage for income at 4%. Do you think we could get an extra 1%? Now I had to click on that Next button to secure it into the software. It comes up to the annual look, but we have to go to Custom Buckets to get to the Next Results page to see the tabular. We click on Next Results. As you can see, we've picked up well over $100,000 by increasing the rate of return by 1%. But I remember that the GLWB took less assets to guarantee the base. So I'd like to go back to Next Manage Scenarios and open up a GLWB and multiple DSLs. Now this case I have already worked on because I did not want to take the time in this training video to show all of the steps. Just understand that we did quite a number of DSLs. Well, let's go ahead and look at investment assets first to show you that this is the same GLWB solve that we used previously. And we can jump now to Custom Buckets. And you can see we've purchased a number of laddered DIAs to take care of our concern with inflation. We have the GLWB, and then I have purchased every 2 years a DIA. I've purchased 6 DIAs. What is the result of that? Let's click Next Results. I want to point out that the longer that the income is deferred, the higher the IRR. So when we delay to 2024, we got 3.92. 2026, 3.97. Look at this. At 2032, we got 4.5%. We averaged 4.09% with these deferred income annuities. Those we layered on top of the GLWB because, as you remembered, we took care of the guaranteed inflation concern and the income gap. I was able to increase the rate of return to 5%. Now look what happens. We end up with $807,000, which just so happens to be the same rate of return that we received way back at the beginning on the base retirement plan. Which was 807 as well. That was not planned, it just worked out that way. So if this was a real case, what I would do would be go back to Manage Scenarios, and I would look at delaying Social Security, paying off the house early, GLWB, DIAs, and I would put them all together to come up with a macroeconomic plan that the client appreciates, that the client wants, and develop a retirement income financial plan that maximizes their assets, minimizes their taxes, guarantees them the most inflation-adjusted income that's possible, utilizing the fewest amount of their assets. Now let's look at the outputs or the proposals that you have available to you to present to your clients.